All right. Welcome to the SCIF. My name's Chris. Matt's usually here with me, but he's having some technical difficulty right now, so he'll be joining us in a little bit. So, what is the Green Beret Life? The Green Beret Life is a nonprofit organization that helps veterans and veterans' families. And Matt and I head that up. And to help with that, we provide training of any sort. So, we uh we train people on firearm safety and handling. We also do um drills with that. We also have a we also teach medical stuff, and also sometimes we have some guest instructors that come out and help us with that. So if you are interested in any kind of training whatsoever, please send us an email at thegreenberetlife@gmail.com, and we will get back to you and let you know. So while we're waiting on Matt, you can catch us tonight on YouTube initially for a little bit, and then we're going to get away from YouTube because they just strike us too much. I was looking at some stuff on YouTube earlier this week, and I just can't believe that some of the stuff I'm seeing on YouTube makes it past their algorithm. And the stuff that we talk about on here, okay, blue collar logic stuff, as Matt calls it, that we are getting all these strikes and then getting kicked off of YouTube, and all these other people aren't. That's amazing. I don't understand it. But you can check out our website. It's scrolling across the bottom, thegreenberetlife.com. Also, I'd like to point out, scrolling across the bottom is also the softnetwork.org. The Soft Network is a group of therapists that provide um, provide services to veterans um, with uh, with different issues. Please check out their website. What's interesting about the Soft Network? The Soft Network is a network of providers that volunteer their time to deal with and help veterans sometimes through their daily life. Now, what's interesting about this is that these personnel that are on here, these therapists, are selected by a board of veterans, I'm told. So there's some interesting interviews that take place, and these people are hand selected basically. So if you know anybody that could benefit from this, please check out the softnetwork.org. You can see it scrolling across the bottom there. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk a little bit about DeSantis. Matt seems to have some information. We all know recently is what happened with DeSantis. He allegedly appears to be uh, I, doing some of the wrong stuff to um, get to run for president or whatever. Um, I'm not sure about about the details, but Matt has that. So when he comes on here, we'll take a look at that. Now, keep in mind, we are going to shut this YouTube down here when Matt comes on and go over to Rumble and Odysee. Now, if you're having trouble with anything, I'm going to post those threads onto each one of those to run the Odysee and Rumble. That way, you can take advantage of that if you need to. Now, also, as we're going through here tonight on the SCIF, please keep in mind that you are more than welcome to ask any questions, or you have any concerns. Please let us know. We are on the live chat also, live stream chat with Odysee and Rumble. Now, You might be asking yourself if the SCIF is on every night. No, it's not on every night, and it would probably bore you to death if it was. But uh, it is on Thursday nights. Keep in mind that not a lot. Some of our stuff is on YouTube, some of it's not. But if you get a chance, go back and review some of the past couple weeks and to kind of catch up to what Matt's talking about. Most of those current events type deals. So keep that in mind. Now, one of the things that I'm going to cover early tonight is Chris's prep talk. Okay, so interestingly enough, there's one thing I've really been struggling with as far as preparations recently, and it's been food. Um, where do I get this food um, from? Am I going to use canning techniques, or am I going to use dry foods, shelf stable? Now I do have some shelf stable stuff, so that's pretty cool. Um, and I do have some MREs that usually I buy a couple here and there, not very many. Oh wow, those things are expensive too. That's crazy. I mean, the regular MRE, meal ready to eat, that is offered to the U.S. military is very expensive. Those things almost doubled in price for some reason, and I don't understand why. Maybe just inflation or whatever else, but they're actually a good thing to have. Okay, because they come each MRE comes ready to eat. Okay, with very little preparation, and you can break it down, or you can just shove it in your bag real quick, and they last almost forever. So that's very important when you're talking about just putting some food on the shelf or anything like that. Now, there's a couple brands out there that hey, C Stone, how's it going? Hey, we're waiting for Matt to get on here. He's having some technical difficulty, so I'm going with a little bit of prep talk tonight first, so we can cover that. So we don't have to cover that at the end. So the I do have some emergency essential stuff. Not very much, but really, if I'm in a crunch, I'm probably going to grab like the MRE style. Now, there's different styles out there for the MREs. So you just got to pick your poison, really. Okay. So the regular MRE that the military has comes with a heater that's activated by water, and the thing gets super hot. And I mean, on a cold day, you really can't beat it. But there's also some other ones that also have the heater too. So keep that in mind. But yeah, an excellent thing to have. A really quick grab. You can keep them in the back of your car or whatever. So um, I see Matt is about ready to come on. So I'm going to close this down right now. But the prep talk for tonight is grab yourself some commercial or military MREs if you can. They're a great tool and a great thing to have on hand. So that way you will be prepared.
Holy smokes. Am I on live now?
You are on live.
Chris, I owe everybody an apology. In my town where I'm at in the middle of Northwoods, Wisconsin, there's only one tower, and I live on the better side of 10 miles away from that tower. Now, I have internet service that I paid for via T-Mobile, and it's been excellent. But ever since 4th of July weekend, everything has gone to shit. That's why last week, everything was terrible. And that's why Chris started the show without me, because we tried to get on and we were just having a nightmare. And what they're doing is they're replacing antennas again in the tower. and it has created just crap for me, internet wise. Uh, and it's probably going to be going on for another week and a half. I've been told by T-Mobile. But anyways, that's sort of an explanation as to what's going on. It's a constant issue just because I'm out in a rural, and when I say, Chris, how rural is it where I'm at?
Oh, it's rural. Yeah, it's
It's
out there. I mean, you can step out of the back door and see anything that you want to see: a bear, a deer, a turkey, a squirrel, a rabbit,
a
a
wolf.
chipmunk. I mean, it's dead in the woods.
Yeah. So we are off grid up here, and we've got a great show tonight. There's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but there's some stuff that Chris and I were kind of getting into it, digging into it a little bit before the show started, and that's when we ran into all of these damn problems, which made me had to come here. So we've had some listeners reach out to us and give us some intel on this as well, and it's just interesting. Now, some of you guys may know a little bit about this, but it's going to blow your mind if you haven't already heard about this. It's going to blow your mind. Okay. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, Chris, is Ron DeSantis. And if you would have gone back a handful of months, I was a huge Ron DeSantis fan. I was never going to vote for Ron DeSantis for president over Trump, but I was prepared to vote for him in 2028, taking the mantle from Trump, because I thought Ron DeSantis really was MAGA. And I really thought that the run up where people were talking about him running for president, I thought that was all just misinformation to sow confusion among the MAGA base. But it turns out it wasn't, Chris. And now we start to see more and more about Ron DeSantis. And one of the most surprising things we're seeing about Ron DeSantis is he was nowhere near the juggernaut that we were all made to believe. Okay? Nowhere near. Because Ron DeSantis's campaign has already imploded. It's imploded. But that doesn't stop the dirty tricks that have been done in the background, Chris. It doesn't stop. And this gets back, we were having a conversation earlier on. It's like, holy smokes, nothing surprises me on anything today. And how were we fooled? How were we fooled with Ron DeSantis, right? You look at Ron DeSantis, who was a congressman who seemed to be MAGA when he was in Congress during Trump's first term. He decides in 2018 he wants to run for governor of the state of Florida, and is a sort of an underdog at the time. He goes to Trump, asked Trump for his support. Trump held 3 to 4 rallies for him down there, supported him, threw his weight behind him, got him through the primary, and then it was a dogfight because he was up against Andrew Gillum, the guy who eventually wound up inside of a hotel room with a gay prostitute ODing on drugs. This was what almost became the governor of Florida. And now this case is still ongoing. I don't know if it's still ongoing, if he's been convicted or what. I don't know what the story is, but wire fraud in addition. So this loser almost got control of the most important state in the country, which is Florida. Right? And
Well,
go ahead, Chris.
there was a lot of eyes on Florida. I know through the pandemic, so-called pandemic. So there was a lot of eyes on Florida. There was a lot of things going on down there. A lot of good stances taken by DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
And, why not? As people looked at Florida and looked at what DeSantis was doing, and even after that, and even in the last year, I mean, him taking a stand on Disney, right,
Yep.
and putting the screws to the school about the books and all this other stuff. I mean,
All great
that
stuff. Great stuff.
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Which would make us be a big fan, and that's why we were, right? Because he ran it like he was a mini Donald Trump. He ran the state like he was mini Donald Trump. Donald Trump dragged him across the line. He won that race by 2 points in 2018. This last election, he won by a landslide, like one of the biggest landslides in the history of gubernatorial landslides ever, right? So here's where it starts to get a little funny, because it turns out that DeSantis was starting to take meetings with the Bushes and the Karl Roves and big rhino donors. Some of these big donors were big Obama donors way back when. And the big money people, he started surrounding himself. And then he wrote this book that basically was the start for him running for president as well. And in the meantime, he is raising more money than pretty much anybody's ever run for a gubernatorial campaign in the state of Florida to be governor of Florida. He was up against Charlie Crist, who used to be a Republican, changed to a Democrat, and a former governor of Florida already, right? So wins in a big landslide. Turns out
Hey,
he
Matt,
takes, go ahead.
we're on YouTube right now, just so you
Oh,
know.
oh,
Okay,
we are.
so
We
yeah,
are. That's
yeah.
and that's one of the things here. Have I said anything already that
No, no, no. I
may have
want you to
gotten?
know you came on. You can't. You know we're having technical difficulty, but I let everybody know that we are on YouTube. But if you want to do away with YouTube, then you probably need to do it right now. Shut it down.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean,
Thank God you just reminded me. It's like even being in the military, Chris always had to come through and remind me. Whoa, wait a second, dude. Do you know? Oh shit. So um, there's a deer crossing the main road right across from me right now. They're all over
nice.
the place up here, Chris. Everywhere. Don't come across 70, deer. You stay over there. So, anyways, yeah, YouTube sucks, guys. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. We're here to try to pull anybody who joins us over on YouTube over to Rumble and Odysee. Okay, YouTube is garbage. It's Google. We already know what they do. All two of them got across, Chris. Just so you know, they
Nice.
both got across. They've stopped traffic, but they're both running through the big high symbol right now. So, um, YouTube sucks. We're going to go off of YouTube. If you joined us here, thank you. Please come and join us. We're under the Green Beret Life under both platforms, Odysee and Rumble. And we'd love to have you over here. We'd love to have you at YouTube. Problem is, we can't speak freely on YouTube. And some of the things we're going to bring up tonight, for sure, YouTube will let us have it. So please come and join us. We're gonna pop smoke right now and go on right on over to Rumble and Odysee.